Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Empty Opinions podcast. My name is Hilario Polanco, and this is the podcast where no topic is taboo. That's a new little tagline of the show. I think that I'm gonna go with. No topic is taboo, which is true. And I mean, you're gonna see that no topic is taboo, but based on the first fucking topic that I'll talk about. But yeah, this is Empty Opinions. This I've been doing a lot of solo episodes for a while now, but that's about to change pretty soon because now I'm finally gonna start getting guests in and just finally having regular, the typical Empty Opinions podcast. And I mean, I can hint this right now, but episode 69, as the title suggests, is gonna be a fun one because it's gonna be a fucking sex episode. That's right. I'm gonna have an episode where we're gonna openly, me and my guests, which I'm not gonna reveal, are gonna talk about sex in the most honest way possible. Because I feel like it's just about time. I've been doing this podcast for 68 episodes now. It's about time, you know what I mean? Like it's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time. But when you're in episode 20, it's like, nah, this is too early. I feel like episode 69 is just the perfect time to do that. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So be excited for the next week's episode. But yeah, that's what's happening with the Empty Opinions podcast. Before we move on to the actual topics I want to talk about, I want to get into some housekeeping. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Eladio Talks, Eladio Talks. There you can find everything that has to do with me. I want to get my fucking follower counts up, so make sure you do that. Also, make sure you subscribe to my reaction channel. Yes, that's right. I have a reaction channel because I'm that thirsty for attention, and those are the most low quality videos I can possibly do. That it's like low. What the fuck is it? Like low effort, high return, or whatever the fuck is it? Low risk, low risk, high reward. You know what I mean? That's what reaction channels really are. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let me use the reaction channel as a way to grow my following, and then use that to funnel it to my podcast, which is what I actually enjoy doing and put a lot of effort into. So make sure you subscribe to that. The link for that is in the description of this episode. Also, make sure you follow the podcast's Twitter and Instagram. The podcast is social media at Empty Opinion Pod, not opinions, because Twitter has a 15 character limit and they don't let me add that fucking S in there. So now I have to change the Instagram one to Empty Opinion Pod. That's where you can find the podcast on social media. Also, make sure you subscribe to the podcast's YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video, share with your friends. It's all truly appreciated. Comment on it. Ask me to talk about whatever you want. We'll do whatever the fuck. You just interact with the channel, man. I would really appreciate that. If you're listening to this, then, go over there and do everything I said. Also, if there is anybody listening to this on the Apple Podcast feed or on the Apple Podcasts app, please rate this podcast 5 stars. I guess what I'm going to start doing is that if you rate the podcast 5 stars, leave a review on it, and I will read whatever it is that you leave on there. That might not be the best thing because it might have me read some really, misogynistic or racist stuff in there. Maybe I'll change it. You can. I don't fucking know. Just do whatever, man. Just please review it. I'll think of how I want to intend. Jesus, I cannot get my words together today. I'm gonna figure out a way to incentivize people to leave reviews. But for now, just do it, just for the hell of it, please. And the last thing. Maybe least. You know how they say last but not least? I mean, maybe least. I don't know. However you want to see it. Make sure you follow the podcast's playlist on Spotify. That's where all the aux songs go into. So if you enjoy the music that I've been playing at the end of every podcast, then that's where you can check that out. And that's it for housekeeping. Now I want to get into my random thought of the week. That's right. Every week I just, really doesn't have anything to do with any pop culture things. Just some random topics or just random thoughts that come to my head that I just kind of need to rant on a little bit. I've been feeling this way for a long time. I mean, for like at least 2 years. Maybe longer than that. But I feel like, and I think one of the things that kind of inspired me to talk about this is that Drake dropped a new album. And he has one of the songs in there called Desires with Future, where he is just being the most toxic guy you could ever be, right? And that led me to think like, toxicity needs to stop being cool. And it is cool. If anybody, you cannot argue with me that toxicity is a cool thing. You know, as much, it's like people realize that toxicity is not a good thing, but it's almost fun to point out it's not a good thing, but still do it. That's my problem with it. Why is that just cool? And again, look, here's the thing. Also, I'm not cool enough to be toxic. You know what I mean? I'm kind of a loser in that way. I'm kind of a fucking nerd in that I'm not a toxic person. Well, I am in different respects. Not in the way I treat women, right? I'm definitely not toxic in that way. I might be toxic in other ways, but that's a whole other point. What I'm trying to say is that I'm not the type of guy that's toxic towards women. So maybe that's why I don't see the fun in it. But I just feel like toxicity is a cool thing. It's a thing that everybody recognizes, and that's what's so weird about it. Everybody recognizes that it's a bad thing. Everybody recognizes, hey, let's not be toxic. Oh, that's toxic behavior. That's so toxic. But then people want it. And a lot of women want that too. You know what I mean? That's kind of like a whole other lane of this conversation that I'm not really going to get into. But women like some of the toxic shit. It's some sick shit that women have in their brains. But regardless, what I'm trying to say is that toxicity is a cool thing and it shouldn't be. And I think we all need to do our best to clear that it's not fun. And I don't know, I think, yeah, toxicity is just cool. It's not good. And everybody knows that being toxic towards women is not good. But I mean, the fact that like there's so many memes with like Future being toxic, you know what I mean? Like people wanting to hear toxic Drake, toxic The Weeknd. That's another thing. But it was like, give me some toxic shit to listen to Future and The Weeknd. But it's like, how about not? How about let's, you know, I mean, and that's so wild. I mean, Future is like 36 years old and he's still acting like the most toxic way possible. And raps about the most toxic shit you could ever think of. But, you know, somehow people celebrate it. It's a weird thing. I feel like we need to stop glorifying toxicity. And, you know, maybe, I mean, I don't know. Like, again, I'm not a toxic person. So I guess coming from me, coming a fucking nerd, I think it is not going to really penetrate the fucking masses. But, yeah, I just don't feel like toxicity should start being, you know, it's not, people need to stop realizing that it's not cool to be toxic. And right now, a lot of people feel like it is based on the music that is coming out. That is cool. Like from Lil Baby, fucking The Weeknd, Future. Like whenever they put toxic music, people love it. But it's like, let's not glorify that. But yeah, that's my random thought of the week. Now let's get into some pop culture topics. This next topic is fucking horrendous. It's one of the worst things I've seen on the internet in a long time. You know what I mean? It's just horrible, and it's like a combination of so many different things that's leading to this. But let me explain what it is. There's this thing called the Foreigner Challenge, and it's basically it's a TikTok challenge that somehow made its way into, well, it's a TikTok. It's a challenge. It's an Instagram challenge that people are using TikTok to make the videos for that challenge on Instagram. And it's set to a slowed down version of Pop Smoke's Foreigner song, where it's like it starts really slow and then it speeds up. It's so fucking disturbing, man. So apparently, like high schoolers are just willingly exposing themselves, and that's what the Foreigner Challenge is. Meaning, and by exposing themselves, I mean posting really sexual content, like them naked and doing sexual acts. And I mean, this is extremely worrisome for a lot of different reasons. I mean, for one, it's people under the age of 18 doing sexual acts on the internet. Right away, that is child pornography. That's not good, in case anybody knows. You know, if you don't know that that's bad, yeah, it's bad. I mean, fucking Jerry from Subway went to jail. I think he's still in jail because of it. It's a bad thing. It's a very, very bad thing. Essentially, anybody who watches it is a pedophile. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, maybe not that extreme because, you know, a pedophile is probably somebody who enjoys it. But still, it's child pornography. Shit is not, you know, I don't think you need me to tell you that shit is not right. That child pornography is just willingly, that people are just, the high schoolers are just willingly posting child pornography videos, right? So that's one way. It's obviously child pornography. Right away, it's bad. Then you have the fact that it's on is TikTok is using this TikTok is the app that these kids are using this with. And I mean, how much blame can TikTok kind of get for that? I don't know how much blame it can get, but I just feel like it's one of those things where TikTok has been trending towards this weird app where like they almost give you too much freedom in what kind of videos you can make. Like I've seen some truly incredible videos of people making some incredibly creative stuff on there that I just think, what the fuck? How can you make all this shit on TikTok? It's almost like a video editor and an app all into one. And that could be good, but that could also be fucking bad because then kids are just learning to edit videos, but for maybe the wrong reasons. So I guess in that way, I've never trusted TikTok. It's one of those things that TikTok is very obviously, Chinese spyware. I think people know that. Like it's a Chinese brand, and the Chinese people are collecting this data. It's one of those things that you agree to when you hit the terms and conditions. It fucking says in other words, it says, hey, we can take all your fucking facial shit. We can do whatever the fuck you want with your likeness and do whatever you want, what we want. Doesn't matter what you want. We can use this shit for damn near anything. You're signing off for it, and that's what TikTok is. So as you haven't joined TikTok, I actually thought of making a TikTok video this past week where I just wanted to make like a funny TikTok, but I decided against it. But that's another thing about this fucking foreigner challenge. The fact that this is being born out of TikTok, and the reason for it, at least partly the reason that this is happening is because the fact that it is a video editor in a way. You know what I mean? Like Instagram is not a video editor. You can do cuts, but I mean, you can like cut between videos, like record a video, cut, record another video, cut, and then mash it together. Twitter is just you post the videos. Like other social medias are not video editors. This one is. That's kind of dangerous to give that ability to fucking teenagers, to wild teenagers. So that's another aspect. And then yet another aspect of this fucking foreigner challenge is just the fact that it just highlights how much kids need school, because now kids are just so fucking bored in their houses that they're willingly exposing themselves using TikTok and post it on Instagram. Isn't that kind of wild? That just shows that, school is more than just for learning. At least, K through 12 is way more than just for learning shit. It's also to learn to socialize and to keep teenagers busy, because who the fuck knows what fucking wild, horned up teenagers want to do in their free time now that they have online school and that they're just home all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like high school or just school in general, like it provides like, it kind of traps these like incredibly horned up, like going through, what's the term? Why can't I think of the term? It's like when you're going through evolution. It's not evolution. Like you're evolving as a person. I can't find the fucking word, but you know what I mean. When like hormones, you're going through a hormonal phase in your life where everything about yourself is changing. I think high school kind of does a thing of like keeping all that shit into four walls, into a confined space. Now, when you take people out of that and they're extremely horned up and maybe they have no parental guidance, this is what happens. The foreigner challenge happens, where people are just willingly posting themselves naked and fucking and doing all of that. It's a wild thing. But, that's kind of everything that encompasses the foreigner challenge. There's so many different things that go into this. It's not just kids posting child pornography. There's so much more. It's just the fact that kids are growing up with like social. It was already bad enough that kids were growing up with social media. Now, kids growing up with a video editor inside of social media, it's just a disaster. It's a recipe for disaster. And I mean, I don't know how we can fix this. I mean, the only thing is just fucking TikTok or Instagram. Please do a thing where if you detect nudity, there has to be some algorithm you can create to detect nudity. Fucking titties, like the vagina, a penis. I'm using medical words to be more sensitive to this topic. Just there has to be some sort of algorithm that detects that and strikes a video down right away, because there's really no need for nudity on those sites, right? You can go elsewhere for that. Not for child pornography, let me be clear. For just finding naked people, like porn, obviously. There's porn sites. So Yeah. The foreigner challenge is one of the most disturbing things I've seen in a long time, and I just had to kind of talk about it because I just couldn't believe it when I saw what it was. Like, one of my friends posted it without context on their Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I looked up on Google what it was, and it's horrible. It's an incredibly upsetting thing. But yeah. All right, moving on from something less serious, because that was a fucking heavy topic. But like I told you guys, this podcast, no topic is taboo on the Empty Opinions podcast. That's the fucking tagline. And you can shut up. No, I was gonna say you can shove it up your ass, but no, let me be nice. All right, man. Akademiks needs to fucking be stopped, man. Akademiks is a fully grown man that is acting like a child on social media. And I mean, that's his brand. That's been his brand for a long time. The fact that he even covers, what's happening with the youth is already, that's his brand. He knows what the fuck is happening with NBA Youngboy and, Alexis Sky and, whoever the fuck, yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? He keeps up with what the fuck, Trippie Redd, Lil Uzi. He knows what all the drama that's happening in that space. You know what I mean? So that's been his brand, but the point where it gets too much is when he starts to talk about women like in the most childish way possible. And what I'm trying to say, like a more specific example of this. There's two specific examples that have been posted, that have been circulating, and that have happened in the span of 2 weeks. Is the fact that, I mean, for one, like, there was a point where, like, Akademiks post a lot of informative shit, but a lot of wild shit on his Instagram and social media. That's just what he does. He is his own brand. He is his own online presence, right? So everything he writes, presumably, it's just him writing. It's all like a one-man operation. So I guess it makes sense what he's doing, but it's just things he shouldn't be posting. Like, for example, there was a point where, like, Megan Thee Stallion did an Instagram live video where she was talking about riding dick, right? Whatever. She can do whatever she wants. The thing that's weird is just Akademiks on his social media kind of commenting on this just very explicitly, being like, yo, Megan Thee Stallion on her live was talking about riding dick. What do you fellas think? How much, how good do you think her sex is? It's like, what? You know what I mean? It's almost like it's like very blatantly commentating on somebody's look. And it's just weird when it's coming from a page like Akademiks who has a lot of followers. It's just weird. Because, I mean, these women are people. There's a reason why you don't really see women or guys just going out there, and commenting publicly about their lustful thoughts on celebrities. Because it's just weird. So the fact that Akademiks, who has such a large following, is just saying, yo, Megan Thee Stallion will write the best dick in the planet, yo, that shit is amazing. It's like, what? What the fuck are you talking about, Akademiks? Let's leave that alone. It's like, and the other thing that's weird, and it's even weirder with the next example I'm going to give, but the thing that's also weird is that Akademiks is himself a celebrity. He is not necessarily on the level, but he's in the stratosphere of these celebrities. And he's in the radar that these celebrities for sure would see what the fuck he's saying about them. So it's like, does he not think about that? Does he not think that, oh, Megan Thee Stallion might see that I'm openly talking about her riding dick as a guy? It's just, it's just weird. But what was most recent was this week, like, Kylie Jenner has just kind of been going wild with her posting like extremely, extremely wild thirst traps, right? And she posted one where she was on a pool, whatever. She looked really good. You see how respectful? Hey, Akademiks, pay attention. That's how you do it. You be respectful. Instead, this motherfucker goes in. I wish I could find the exact thing. But what he was pretty much saying is one of the funniest things. Because somebody on Twitter commented on this. But he said, yo, fellas, look at Kylie Jenner looking extremely thick. Is this fat material? Like, who is the baddest woman on the planet right now? I think it's her. But the fact that he said fat material, somebody was like, yo, somebody needs to arrest Akademiks. Because he's just like being openly lustful towards these women who are who are also in the space that he's operating in and will clearly see that. I mean, it's just wild. And if you really think Kylie Jenner is beautiful, right? At least this is how I'm thinking about it. If I'm in a space where like I also have a blue check mark or somehow could get in contact with Kylie Jenner, and feel like I may have a shot just purely on my success and popularity, I would feel like maybe you don't do that because that's very clearly pushing her off, dude. If you actually want to try to have a shot, like, this is what lets me know. I mean, I understand he's commenting. He's like, oh, she's beautiful. She's the hottest woman on earth right now. But the way he's doing it, it's almost like he knows he has no chance. Which is like, in my mind, it's almost like, what the fuck, Akademiks? I mean, maybe he probably doesn't. But it's like, if you feel like you could even have an ounce of a chance, don't say that she's fat material, bro. Don't say that. That's a little wild to say that. But I mean, and the most recent thing is like, besides him just openly commenting on women in a sexual way, the other wild thing is just, it's wild. This isn't as bad, but the fact that he's like getting Drake on his, he's somehow live doing Instagram lives or however the fuck. He's chatting with Drake, right? And he's a big fan of Drake. But he's just kind of, and I kind of appreciate that he's so vulnerable and just very clearly shows his appreciation for Drake. Like, he was crying. He almost broke his chair because Drake gave him a shout out. It's just almost too much. And the fact that he's getting older doesn't really help with the fact that you're acting like what? You know what I mean? Like, act like you belong. Act like you belong. That's funny. That might be the fucking title of this clip. Whatever. But I'm just saying, like, when you act like you don't belong, or you act so incredibly shocked that Drake is on your live, you can show gratitude and show like, oh my God, this is so crazy that Drake is in my live. You know what I mean? You can feel like that, but don't start crying openly or publicly about it. It's just, but again, that's also his brand. Him just being extremely honest and just kind of being childish a little bit. That's what his brand has become. But yeah, I mean, Akademiks just wilding right now. At least with the women, chill out, bro. You need to stop doing what the fuck you're doing with women. Maybe just give up posting women in a sexual way to your followers that have, to your pages that have millions and millions of followers. Let's relax with that. Yeah, that's everything happening with Akademiks. Another funny thing, it's like a couple of weeks ago, I talked about Kylie Jenner and her looking extremely white, and it just being funny because she's back to being white again, or she was caught looking extremely pale. Now it seems like something very similar happened with Kim Kardashian on her Instagram, where she was kind of doing like a fucking lip makeup. I don't know what she does. She does makeup shit. So maybe testing a lipstick. I don't know what it was, but her face in like torso was completely like tan, right? Like, almost dark skin at this point. It's completely dark. It's like what Bad Baby did a while ago and got flack for. Kim Kardashian has been doing her whole life, so it's weird. So but whatever, right? So she's looking how she normally looks, but she has her hand out like putting lipstick on her mouth, and you can clearly see it looks like a 60-year-old white woman's hand. It's like extremely pale, and you can see the veins and shit. So it looks completely different from her body. And then in the caption of the Instagram story, she's like, I'm sorry, excuse my pale hand, or don't mind my pale hand. Like, apologizing for her real skin color. I mean, that's how far, or that's how, I feel like she's gotten to the point that she's been doing this so long that she truly doesn't feel like she's that colored. She thinks that's just, a bad condition, like something happened to her hand that just looks like that. I'm sorry, my hand looks fucking weird, right? It looks white. Isn't that weird? My fucking hand looks white. It's like, it's almost hilarious, the fact that she's apologizing for what she normally would look like. But I feel like it's almost part of the delusion and the thing that she's been doing for so long, that I feel like she truly believes that's not her skin color. The skin color that you saw was extremely pale. That's not that's not me. I'm this person. I feel like I wouldn't even be surprised if she goes to sleep with the fucking full-on tan. It's weird, but it's just funny. I mean, the internet rightfully killed her because it's like, why are you apologizing for being white? AKA what you should be doing. You know what I mean? It's just a delusion that Kim Kardashian has that she truly doesn't feel like she's white. And man, how much I would pay to see Kim Kardashian fully in her most natural state. That would be that would be like finding Bigfoot. If that footage somehow leaks of that happening, I would bet you like that would break the internet. Do you remember how she broke the internet with her fucking ass out and then champagne going over her hitting her ass? And she said that was gonna break the internet. It didn't really break the internet. What would truly break the internet is if she posted herself fully natural after waking up. That would scare even the most fucking diehard fan of Kim Kardashian. And I mean, another whole topic. It might be my random thought of the week next week, but it's just how whenever a woman is a big fan of a Kardashian, is to me is like instantly a turn off, or maybe not a turn off, but it's definitely weird. Whenever I see women that their idols are Kim Kardashian or anybody in the Kardashian family, is a little weird. So, but that's gonna be a random thought for another week. So yeah, Kim Kardashian apologized for being white. We don't accept your apology because you are white, Kim. Accept it. Yeah, and I mean the last topic I have to talk about here, Beyonce jumped on Megan Thee Stallion's new, really popular song, Savage. Jumped in the remix. I did a reaction video for this song and deleted it because I'm a fucking weirdo. I should have posted it, but whatever. But I guess I'll repeat what I said in that video in this section. Yeah, it's just interesting that, it's honestly wild how just truly big Megan Thee Stallion is. I mean, she's just, if you didn't think she was a fucking big artist last year, when even her song with Nicki Minaj came out and she just blew up in a spot. I mean, certainly this year you must recognize she's just one of the biggest artists in the game right now. I mean, how else do you get a Beyonce feature? And that's something I was talking about in that long lost footage of my reaction to the song. Hold on, somebody's calling. Who the fuck is calling? The random, yeah, nobody. Oh shit, I think it was a person that. Oh shit, I think because I'm applying to move out, and I think the person, it's fucked up. I think declined a call for somebody calling about my interest in a certain place. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was saying, like, how impressive is it that Megan Thee Stallion has gotten a Beyonce feature? Like, I'm trying to think, what's the last Beyonce feature? I'm pretty sure she doesn't do features whatsoever. You know what I mean? It's usually like she's working with another artist, right? Right? It might be her song and then she has somebody else. Matter of fact, I feel like the last female rapper she did a song with was fucking Nicki Minaj. And that was 2014 or 2015, around that time. That's 5 years ago, 5 to 6 years ago. So it's a big fucking deal that Beyonce jumped in a song with Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, just in general, I can't even think of other features that Beyonce has done. It's fucking crazy. And I saw somebody on Twitter say that the fact that she has accomplished a Nicki Minaj feature in a Beyonce feature before she's dropped an official album is kind of ridiculous. And now to talk about, maybe dig deeper into this, how does this affect the fact that she's been trying to get out her deal for like a couple of months now? The fact that she has a song with Beyonce, that would, listen, if I'm the guy who Megan Thee Stallion is signed to, right? And she's trying to leave me, but she has a contract that she better fucking accomplish. You know what I mean? You better finish this fucking contract. And then you just see her, you sign her when she was unknown. And now she's one of the biggest artists on the planet and she's trying to leave you. And then all of a sudden she gets a song with Beyonce. I would be fucking fuming. I would just do my best to not let her leave. Finish this fucking contract. And you know what? It's so wild because I feel like Megan Thee Stallion somehow will get out of her contract. I don't know. She just has everybody on her side right now. And I feel like it is possible that she's going to leave the contract. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, Megan Thee Stallion is almost like Thanos. It's like the female Thanos right now. Everything's going her way. I mean, people love her. She's beautiful. She's tall. She's all natural. You know what I mean? It's like a thing of, just women love her. Which, it's very good when women love you. And guys just think she's fucking amazing and would love to have sex with her. All right, look, I'm turning into Akademiks. All right. Before I fully turn into Akademiks, let me just finish this episode of the podcast. So that was yet another episode of Empty Opinions, where no topic is taboo. That sounds, I like the ring of that. I think I'm going to start saying that just more whenever I'm introducing the podcast. The way we end every episode is with a song in a segment I like to call the Aux. With this segment, hold on, I gotta pull up the song first. And I can barely multitask. I can't really talk and find some shit at the same time. I'm gonna find the song. Hold on. So yeah, I'm doing the Aux, the segment where I play a song I've been liking recently. At first I was thinking of playing a song of Drake's new album, the song he did with Chris Brown, where Chris Brown is barely in it. But instead I'm gonna do. But I realized that's kind of a sad song. So instead, I want to do a more like hype song. You know what I mean? A more exciting song. So I'm gonna be playing "Awesome" of Fabio Foreign's 800 BC before Corona. Very clever. And this is like one of the most. It's so hype, man. I mean, it's super fast paced, and it's just one of my favorites of his EP, which I really enjoy. I mean, Big Drip. There's a run in there with Big Drip. Demons and Goblins with Meek Mill, and then Awesome are amazing. And then even before that, Wetty was great. The Drive-By song, yeah, it's just a very good EP. And I want to play my favorite song off of there. This is Fabio Foreign, Awesome.
Get it on.
Oh, it goes all the damn beat.
Shit legendary. Worldwide. Flag still tied around the leg. Bow.